Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing the IWC Portuguese reference 5454-06. You can see this IWC Portuguese hand wound and purchase it on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos. And click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time to see our full listing for this watch, with additional accessories included, high resolution images, and naturally full pricing details. On my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference, this Portuguese hand wound is arguably the closest living relative of the original 1939 Portuguese reference 325. That watch, designed as a wristwatch large enough to house an ultra-accurate pocket watch caliber 74, was a special order item for IWC's Portuguese distributors at the time, Rodrigues and Teixeira, and these two gentlemen created a lasting icon that, although scarce until the 1990s, only a few hundred of the originals were produced, has become an icon of the manufacturer from Schaffhausen. Now, the watch is actually quite compact for such a large timepiece, 44 millimeters across the round of the case, including the crown. It's also quite slim, only 10 millimeters with a nicely sloped sapphire that creates a bit of a plexiglass distortion effect for historic purposes. It's also reasonably compact across the wrist, 52 millimeters with dramatically downturned lugs, quite short and close coupled. The watch wears well on my 16 centimeter wrist, and down to about 14 and a half centimeters, you would be able to wear this watch securely. And again, with a Portuguese, big has always been the look. It's supposed to look outsized for a dress reference. That's in keeping with the use of a pocket watch movement in a wrist watch. Now, the watch has a very traditional, minimally bolstered, semi-gloss, rectangular scale alligator leather with a monotone stitch. Very traditional. It eschews the shiny, polished look of conventional alligator leather to keep the focus on the watch itself and maintain a little bit of an understated dignity about this reference. Now, on the underside, there is a very supple black calfskin, extremely comfortable against the skin, and paired with a beautiful satin and polished finished beveled pin buckle for easy adjustments on the fly, and again, it's consistent with the historic character of the watch. Now, the dial itself is immense in relation to the bezel. You can see that the watch thrives on a high ratio of Ardoise sunburst dial to bezel. If you look at it from overhead, it's almost all lug and then the dial with just a little polished golden halo surrounding the dial at center, and it is very true to its historical forebear. You can see the foy or leaf style hands at center, all Arabic numerals, here applied rose gold with applied rose gold indices outboard, a very traditional railroad style minute track, and a countersunk small seconds subdial at 6 o'clock with minimal print and minimal text on the dial. It's refreshing. It's the vintage watch sort of coming back to rescue us from the overbearing super graphics of a certain well-known Geneva giant who shall remain nameless. This is about as classic as it gets, and again, in the dial layout, the details, everything but the build quality and finish, which is far better than the 30s, 40s, and 50s, this watch is true to the original. Now, on the case back, you can see IWC's in-house caliber 98-300. The very first Portuguese references were powered by 70 series pocket watch calibers, principally the reference 74 pocket watch caliber, and then later the 90 series through the years. And that continues with this 98,300. It's a big beat, 18,000 vibration per hour pocket watch caliber. It has a large 3/4 style bridge, again an homage to the pocket watch calibers that propelled the historic Portuguese. It has a single-sided balance cock, also historically accurate. It has jewels born in golden chaton, once again true to the origin, and a true center wheel. This is a watch with a pocket watch style gear train, not the off-center, quote, center wheel of the modern Zenith train lineup. That's been around since 1948, but since this watch and the watches that inspired it predate the 1948 off-center center wheel or second wheel, the watch is both aesthetically and mechanically true to historical precedent, and it serves as a little case study in watchmaking. You can watch the power enter through the crown wheel, transferred to the ratchet wheel atop the barrel, and then to that true center wheel, third wheel, fourth wheel, and the escape wheel. You can see the outcropping and the jewel of the escape wheel. And then you turn the watch over and you can see the teeth of the escape wheel, the anchor oscillating right next to it, and that big beat balance beating away at 2.5 hertz or 18,000 vibrations per hour. Now the watch has a 46-hour power reserve, of course hand wound, and I can tell you it is a tactile pleasure to wind, but it also features hacking seconds. So although this is a vintage style watch, this 18 joule movement can be synchronized precisely to a known accurate reference time, and you can actually see the hacking lever right next to the balance just below my thumb as it engages and disengages. I'll show you again. You can see it draw close and then release itself to resume the beat of the balance. The watch is, again, just a beautiful case study in how a watch works. Basically a watch pared down to the bare essentials. You can see this gorgeous, historically inspired IWC reference 5454 Portuguese hand wound and purchase it on our website.